patch 24.6 just dropped. That's what I would have said if I recorded this video in time, but instead you're watching this video a couple of days after the patch came out. So I guess I will give you my hindsight thoughts on the patch. General text update, we don't really care about these are just text. New hero, the Jailer, armor tier 3, hero power 1 gold, give a minion +1/+1, upgrades after 9 friendly minions die. Okay, this hero is terrible, don't play it. In the quest meta, this hero power just doesn't matter. The idea behind this hero is that you play it in a mech comp or in a beast comp, and then you can buff your deflector or your mama bear. In reality though, the hero is just bad. This kind of hero powers are just too slow right now. Maybe once quests are out. Hero updates, now to the spies. Cthulhu. Old, give a minion +1/+1, repeat 0 times, upgrades after each use. New, upgrade after each turn. Cthulhu just got a massive update, and the hero still has 10 armor, so probably gonna get nerfed. I haven't played it yet, but it seems solid. Like, you get 10 armor, and then later on, if the hero power is good, you can just use it. But like 10 armor means you get a super easy quest, which is already a good enough hero power. And then in the late game, you can press this and buff your Selfless Baron, Mounted Queen, and whatnot for free. Or if you high roll Whelp Smuggler, then the hero power is good the whole game. Toki got reworked. With the old one, when you refresh, include a minion from a higher tier, and now with the new one, refresh, include 2 minions from a higher tier. Pretty good. I tried her once, seems solid. I was a Toki fan before, and now she's just better. Although she lost a little bit of armor, but that's fine. And then Rat King, the biggest rework of them all. Old, it used to buff random minions. Now, you discover a minion of a specific type, swaps each turn. I also played this one, and it's extremely good. It's basically like Scab. You stay on tier 1, and whenever you hit Elemental, Naga, or Beast, you get a token. That's super strong. And it's also really easy to hit pairs and triples, because even if you use the hero power on tier 2, if you have, let's say, a pair of Elementals, you use the hero power, there's only 4 Elementals on tier 1 and 2 combined, so it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna hit the triple. So super strong. Also, if you use the hero power on tier 4 and above, there's always a chance that you're gonna get the Ball of Minion, which is a crazy new minion that we're about to see. So yeah, solid hero. I think it's probably slightly weaker than Scab overall, but like Scab is one of the best heroes in the game, so yeah. Really strong, although now the hero has 0 armor. So armor changes, Brukan, Pyramid and Rat King have been nerfed, they now have 0 armor. For Brukan and Rat King it makes sense. Pyramid, high MMR Pyramid was not that good, and now it has 0 armor, feels bad, it's unplayable again. Lich Baz, armor tier 2, totally on board with this. Lich Baz is extremely toxic at high MMR. Deathwing, Toki, Kurchus, Tavish nerf, feels bad for Tavish and Deathwing. Makes sense for Kurchus and Toki. And then Onyxia also nerfed. Like, I think Onyxia was already bad. Now they made it even worse. But maybe they nerfed it because of a new reward they were about to see. And then some heroes have been buffed. Also, I really like this. We have a section for the armor nerfs and then another section for the armor buffs. That's good. Because before you will just see a bunch of changes and wonder if something got buffed or nerfed. Now at least we know what's getting buffed and what's getting nerfed. Patchwork now has armor. That's pretty good. Back when Quest came out, Patchwork was armor tier 2 and the hero was broken. But that's because quests were super important. Nowadays, quests are a bit more balanced, slightly less important. So I don't think the hero is gonna be broken, but it's definitely a playable hero. Like, with 0 armor, it was just unplayable. And then Alex and Phelan have been buffed. I don't like these heroes in quest meta, so whatever, they got a buff. And then Shambhala, Bigglesworth, and Zephyrs also got a buff. I mean, Shambhala is kind of a whatever hero. Like, sure, if you get Elementals, it's good, or else it's kind of useless. Bigglesworth and Zephyrs, though, with 8 armor, these heroes are kind of busted now. Like, you can get a super easy Sinstone on Zephyrs. And then, new quest! Now they're real spies. Hire an investigator. End your turn with unspent gold 3 times. So that's a new quest. Pretty easy to complete. I like it. I haven't gotten it offered yet though. So maybe it's really hard to get this quest? I don't know. It's definitely a good quest. And then crack the case. Have friendly minions attack 11 times. That seems also like a pretty solid one. I picked it a couple of times, it was really easy to complete, really good quest. Remember, these are just baselines, you're not always gonna have to spend 3 gold, this changes based on the difficulty of the quest. Now, new quest rewards. Blood Goblet. At the end of your turn, give your rightmost minion attack equal to your missing health. I haven't played this one yet, but it seems decent. You get a lot of attack for free. Although, it buffs the rightmost minion, which is a bit tricky, but I guess you might buff some taunted max with module or like a battle master or a baron, something like that. Essence of Zerus. At the end of your turn, add a shifter Zerus to your hand, which transforms into a random minion. I've only played this quest once, but I've seen plenty of screenshots. The quest seems absolutely bonkers, because it's super easy to complete. It's like play 3 Murlocs or Pirates, and you have it. Crazy quest. Hidden Treasure Vault. At the start of your turn, gain 1 gold, upgrades each turn. So, in theory, this quest seems pretty strong if you can get it done by turn 6 or 7. The issue though is that the few times I got it offered, it was super hard to complete, so I just didn't even pick it. I didn't even bother with it. So maybe they need to make this one a little easier. But maybe I was just unlucky. I don't know, a small sample size. Now, my favorite quest out of the new ones. Ethereal Evidence. At the start of every turn, choose from 2 new rewards. So I've only played this quest once, but it was pretty fun. It gave me Staff of Origination once, and then it gave me Smoking Gun once. All the other time it just gave me a pretty shitty reward, but it's fun, so I like it. And another new spicy one, Volatile Venom. Your minions have +8/+8. After they attack, they die. This quest is Smoking Gun on crack. The quest is nuts. Definitely one of the best quests in the game. 100%. There are a few ways in which you can play this quest. Obviously, you can just spam Rat Packs and Gas Coiler and Omega Busters and just have a bunch of tokens, and that's so much stat. Because keep in mind, even though the minion die horribly, you might wonder, why do they get 8 health then? Well, the reason being is that if your token get attacked and survive, they don't die. So that's why they also get the health buff. So yeah, this quest is just nuts. It feels like you complete this quest and you just get top 2 guaranteed. It's super strong. And it's also not that hard to get done. Another way in which you can play this quest is if you get some taunted deflectos, and then you can play a bunch of resets up front. That's also super strong, because once again, if your taunts get attacked, they don't die. Also, kinda like with Smoking Gun, if you buy magnetic stuff with this quest, they're gonna buff their baseline and then an extra +8/+8. So every menace is like +11/+9. It's crazy. So yeah, this quest is nuts. Another insane quest, the Golden Hammer. Spellcraft, make a friendly minion golden until your next turn. So yeah, this quest is stolen gold on crack, because you can make Golden Bran, Golden Nomi, Golden Lightpen, Golden Felbat, whatever you want, and it works. It doesn't have to be Baron. So yeah, this quest is nuts. I haven't played it yet, but it's crazy. Also, if you're playing Lady Vaj, you get Reno Hero Power every turn for free, which is dumb. Now, Sinful Medallion. After you play a minion, give 2 other friendly minions of its tavern tier +2/+2. So this one is like the most boring one out of the new quests. It seems kinda bad. I think this quest could be really strong on Milaus and maybe also Gallywix. Like, basically, if you're playing a comp that wants to cycle a lot, this one is probably decent. Other than that, it doesn't seem too good. Kidnap sucks. Spellcraft, choose a non-golden minion, add it to your hand. So again, one of the new quests that I like the most. So this quest is basically Jandis in a way. You can use it to bounce battle cries from your board back to your hand, which is what I did with it when I played it. Like I played the Leader Rag comp, and then I was bouncing the Tavern Tempest all the time with Bran, and I was getting infinite stats. But also, you can use this quest to target the shop and basically buy a minion for free. So basically what you do with this quest is that you get it done really fast, because it's pretty easy to complete, and then you can just get a minion for free from the shop every turn and power level, and then you get a comp together, and if you get something really strong that you want to bounce, you can just bounce that all the time, like Necrolite or any strong battle cry, Toxfin, Primal Fiend, all this kind of stuff. Good versatile quest. quest and quest reward updates. Find the murder weapon has had its baseline completion requirement reduced. For those of you who don't know it, this is the quest that requires you to buff your minions X times. It's now a lot easier to complete, but the reason being is because Pawn of Nesov and Iriel has been removed from the minion pool, so this quest overall is way harder to get completed, but it's also easier now. And then Anima Bribe has been removed from the reward pool, and Anima Bribe was one of the best quests, but it was also like a quest that I enjoyed a lot because it was pretty skill intensive, but I'm okay with seeing it gone. It was a bit too strong. And then Theater Parasol is back to the pool, although I will say that I think they nerfed the offering rates for Parasol. Before it got removed, this quest used to get offered at least 40% of the games. Now, I played like 15 games today and I never got it offered, so even though it's back, I don't see it that much. I only see my opponents pick it once or twice. And then Stolen Gold has had its appearance rate reduced by 50%. New minions, Dozy Whelp, Tier 1 Dragon, 0 attack, 3 health, taunt. Whenever this is attacked, gain +1 attack permanently. So this is a taunt with a built-in Arm of Empire effect. This card is pretty decent, and it has a cute artwork, 10 out of 10. Patient Scout, Tier 2, 1/1. When you sell this, discover a Tier 1 minion, upgrades each turn. This minion is crazy, because if you don't start with a token on turn 1 and then you level on turn 2, now on turn 3, you can just get this card and then you cycle it, you get a 1-drop and you buy another 2-drop from the shop and you fix your curve and you have really good economy. Amazing. Also, what you can do is you can keep this on your board if you get it on turn 3 and then wait until you get a 6-drop, which is really powerful. 10 out of 10, really good card. Now, Bristlemane Scrapsmith, 4 attack, 4 health, tier 3 Quillbore. After a friendly taunt minion dies, get a blood gem. So you might think to yourself, well, this card looks kinda like a Gem Splitter. That is because Gem Splitter is now gone. So instead of Gem Splitter, we have this. Now, this card is way weaker than Gem Splitter, but Gem Splitter was a busted card on tier 3, so it makes sense. This is just a solid 3-drop. It's kinda like Thorncaller. It's a minion that you keep for a little bit and then you get rid of, which makes sense for a 3-drop. Like, Gem Splitter being a 3-drop that you will keep for most of the game was not healthy in my opinion, so I'm okay with it being gone. Faceless Disciple, Tavern tier 3, 6 attack, 4 health. Battlecry, transform a minion into one of a higher tavern tier. This card is gonna be busted. Having the ability to get random 6-drops seems pretty strong. Although, I don't know, it might not be worth the 2 gold. One thing for sure is that this card is gonna be good for Bran. Because like, if you're on tier 4 with Bran, you can just use this on a 4-drop. It's gonna proc twice. And then the 4-drop becomes a 6-drop. So you can get random queens and Tios and such. So, I don't know. Interesting card. I'm not too big of a fan of this design. I don't think this card is that healthy for the game. Anyway, moving on. Vigilant Stoneboard, 2 attack, 6 health, 4-drop neutral, Battlecry, give a minion +6 health and taunt. We have more taunt cards in the game. And this also gives +6 health. Amazing card, really strong. And the big elephant in the room. The Ball of Minions. Tavern tier 4. All tribes! Does that sound familiar? When you sell this, give its stats to a random friendly minion. So this is the minion I was talking about with Rat King, by the way. If you are on tier 4 and above with Rat King, you can always discover this. And this card is freaking busted. It's basically Amalgam, but better, on tier 4. So why did they buff Amalgam? I'm not sure, but they did it. And they made it tier 4, which I don't like. I'm okay with Amalgam being busted if everyone can get it. On tier 3, it's really common, easy to get. But now as a 4-drop, there are gonna be games where you never get this card. And then your opponent has a Ball of Minion with Taunt, Divine Shield, Poison, and you get wrecked. Because you can just make it big, get it golden, and watch this. When you sell this, give it stats to 2 random friendly minions. So you just make a golden ball, you sell it, and you get infinite stats. So yeah, not a fan of this. I think the old Amalgam was toxic, but healthier than this. This one is Omega toxic in my opinion. And people are gonna start to abuse this card really soon, and it's gonna be really annoying. But Easter egg, there is a totem in the artwork. Are totems the next tribe that we're gonna get? Who knows? Now, another toxic one. Interrogator Whiteman. Tier 5 neutral, 8 attack, 5 health. Start of combat, give the enemies opposite this taunt. They take double damage. So why does it says enemies, you might wonder? Where the reason being is that if one player is playing 7 minions and the other one is playing 6 minions, this one is gonna taunt 2 minions, because it's gonna be in between. This card is toxic as fuck. Let's say your opponent has a Divine Shield huge Wind Fury Cleave. Well, now they can just give taunt to the minion in the middle of your board and just wreck you to oblivion. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Other than that though, I see why they put this card into the game. Because people have a lot of trouble dealing with Leapers for some reason, even though Leapers is like the easiest comp in the game to counter. But also, there is a comp right now that's called Exodia Max, and there is basically no counter to the comp. So maybe they put this card in to counter that specific build. But the thing is that I think this card does more harm than good. Not to mention that if people want to stream snipe, they can just do whatever they want with this card. I don't know, I don't think this card is healthy for the game. I hope they're gonna remove it soon. It seems really toxic to me. Although people are not playing it too much at the moment. Now, back to the healthy and sweet cards. Vanessa Van Cleef, 3 attacks, 7 health. Whenever this attacks, give your pirates +2/+1 permanently, and it's a pirate itself. So this card is sweet. It gives pirates some mid-game, which is what they were lacking, right? They have pretty mediocre early game, really bad mid-game, but then they have really good late game with both Ogar and Eliza comps. But the issue with them is that they don't have much going on early on other than Peggy. Now, if you're playing pirates, like if you're playing patches, you also have access to Vanessa, which is, let's be honest, if you have a full pirate board, this is gonna carry you so much if you get it early on. Seems like a cool card. For all the pirate mains out there, you can rejoice. Really good pirate card. Now the Walking Fort. New tier 6 neutral, 4 attack, 6 health. At the end of your turn, give 4 friendly taunt minions +4/+4. That's a good buff. It's like a golden light thing. So this card seems pretty okay, but the thing with it is that by the time you triple into it, you better have some taunts on your board. I think it's especially good if you get it with Ghastly Mask. Then you can build around it on lower tiers. Seems a bit niche though. And now, minion updates. Prophet of the Boar used to be a 3/3 once per turn. After you play a Quillboar, you get a gem. Now it's a 2/3 taunt, so it works with the new 3-drop. And it's no longer once per turn. You can play as many Quillboars as you want. Pretty decent. Terragosa, this is just a text change. It doesn't really matter. And then minion pool changes. Spawn of Nezov, Gem Splitter, Reef Explorer, Nightmare Amalgam, Nosy Looter, Iriel have all been removed from the pool. And somebody's missing here. In case you don't know, Atramides is the 3/6 dragon on tier 4 that when attacks it deals 3 damage to adjacent minions. I used to really like that minion, but for some reason they removed it. And then Menagerie Mag is back. I like the Mag, so I'm happy about it. This was it for the patch notes. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments down below what you think about it. Don't forget to leave a sub, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!